The room buzzed with polite laughter and clinking glasses, but my focus locked onto the woman standing near the balcony. A black dress hugged her figure with the kind of precision that demanded attention. She turned slightly, her eyes catching mine across the crowd. I forced myself to look away. I was here for business, not distractions. Daniel, a colleague called, pressing a glass of champagne into my hand. The managing director is on the far side. You should introduce yourself. I will, I said, but my eyes betrayed me. Sliding back to her, she noticed she smiled, not the casual smile you throw at strangers. This one was deliberate, confident, dangerous. Before I could stop myself, I was moving toward her, enjoying the view. I asked, nodding toward the city lights behind her. Her lips curved. The view is fine. The company is better now. You don't even know me. I don't need to. I can already tell you don't want to be here. Her voice was smooth, dipped in amusement. And what makes you so sure? I asked. You've looked at your watch 3 times in the last 10 minutes. People who are having fun don't do that. I laughed softly. You've been watching me, observing, she corrected. There's a difference. Her gaze lingered longer than polite conversation allowed. Heat prickled at the back of my neck. I'm Daniel, I offered. Clara, she extended her hand, her fingers cool against my palm. And before you ask? No, I don't work in marketing or finance or whatever department is suffocating this room tonight. What do you do then? She leaned closer, her perfume brushing against me like an invitation. Something more interesting. Vague. Vague keeps people curious. Her eyes didn't blink. She knew exactly what she was doing. I tried to retreat into safer territory. So, do you come to many of these events? Only when I know someone intriguing will be there. And who told you I'd be here? She tilted her head. One had to. The answer unsettled me. A warning bell rang in the back of my mind, but her smile drowned it out. A waiter passed by with another tray of drinks. Clara took one without breaking eye contact. You seem like someone who doesn't fall for easy flattery. I try not to. And yet, she said, lowering her voice, you haven't walked away? I swallowed. She was right. You have. An interesting way of talking, I said. Interesting or dangerous? Both good, she said, like being both. For a moment, silence stretched between us, heavy with the kind of tension that made the air feel hotter. She brushed a strand of hair over her shoulder, letting the fabric of her dress shift just enough to pull my focus where it shouldn't go. Staring, she teased, you dress to be stared at? Her laughter was low and deliberate. You notice things quickly. It will help you. Help me with what? You'll find out. The way she said it made my chest tighten. Daniel Simon's voice cut through the air behind me. He was waving from across the room. The director's ready for you. I turned back to Clara. She didn't move. Her eyes lingered on me, like she was memorizing the way I looked. You should go, she said, sipping her drink. Do I want to? That depends. Do you prefer safe opportunities or dangerous ones? Liar, she whispered. I froze. No one had ever said it like that. So certain, so challenging. Why do you say that? I asked. Because safe doesn't make your pulse race like it is right now. I realized she was close enough to feel it. My chest betrayed me with every beat. I stepped back, forcing air into my lungs. It was interesting meeting you, Clara. It's interesting. Is a boring word, she said, but I'll let you make it up to me, will I? You'll see. Simon grabbed my arm, pulling me toward the director. I let him, needing the distance, needing clarity. But the moment I turned away, Clara's voice followed me. Don't think too hard, Daniel. Just call me when you're ready. I didn't ask how she knew my name. The rest of the night blurred in a haze of forced smiles and empty conversations. I tried to focus on networking, on the opportunities I came for, but every polished handshake felt meaningless compared to that. Dangerous smile. By the time the event ended, I was drained. I slipped on my coat and headed for the exit. As I reached the door, I felt a soft touch at my arm. Clara stood beside me, close enough that her shoulder brushed mine. You looked restless. She said I was leaving. Not without this. Her hand slid into my pocket. My body stiffened. She leaned close, her lips almost grazing my ear. You'll need me more than you think." Her whisper lingered long after she walked away, leaving me with nothing but a card burning against my leg and a question I wasn't ready to answer. Asterisk, I buried myself in reports, determined to push Clara out of my thoughts. Days had passed, yet her voice still lingered in my head like a song I couldn't erase. "Daniel," Simon said from the doorway, knocking lightly, "you've been at this all morning. In break for lunch? In a minute? Yeah, you're working? Like the company will collapse without you," I sighed. "That's what keeps it from collapsing." He smirked. "Suit yourself. Don't let anyone distract you." The irony hit me seconds later, because the moment he left, I heard a voice behind me. "Distracted already?" My chair spun, and there she was, standing in my office like she owned the space. Clara, black blazer, fitted dress. The same confidence that burned through me at the gala. "How did you get past reception?" I asked. "People let me in when I smile," she said, stepping closer. "You didn't call?" "I wasn't planning to." Liar. She slid into the seat across from me without asking. "You thought about it every day?" "Refused to give her that satisfaction." "Why are you here?" "I wanted to see where you hide." She scanned the room, her gaze sharp, her lips curling. "This office tells me more about you than you realize." "And what exactly do you think it says?" "That you crave order, but you secretly want chaos." I leaned back. "Or maybe I just like clean desks." She laughed softly, then leaned forward and ran her fingers slowly across the edge of my desk. "Order on the surface. But the drawers." "Daniel, what's in there?" "That's none of your business." Her eyes locked on mine. "Everything about you feels like my business." Heat rushed through me despite my better judgment. "You can't just walk in here and act like this." "Ken," she said, lowering her voice. "And you'll let me?" The way she said it rattled me. She wasn't asking. She was certain why. I asked, "What is it you want from me?" "Not want," she said. "Need." Her hand brushed over a file on my desk. "Like this one. Financial projections for next quarter. Numbers don't lie, but people do." I froze. "How do you know what's in that file?" Her smile sharpened. "I know more than I should. Like how someone inside your company has been siphoning money into accounts offshore." My chest tightened. "You're guessing, am I?" She tilted her head. "Check the transfers logged 3 weeks ago. You'll see a pattern." "You shouldn't know this." "I told you, Daniel. You'll need me more than you think." The door opened without warning. Simon stepped in, holding a folder. He froze at the sight of Clara. "Who's this?" he asked. Clara's smile didn't falter. "A friend." Simon looked at me, suspicion in his eyes. "Since when?" "Since now," Clara answered for me. She stood, brushing imaginary dust from her dress. "I should go." "Don't look so worried, Simon. I'm harmless." Simon's jaw tightened. "You don't seem harmless?" Clara winked. "That's the fun part." She brushed past him, her perfume lingering as she slipped out the door. The room felt smaller after she left. Simon shut the door and dropped the folder on my desk. "Tell me I didn't just walk in on trouble," he said. "She was just leaving." "Who is she, Daniel?" "No one important."
"Liar,"
Simon said. "I've never seen you look that rattled." "She's polished, too polished. Women like that don't just wander into offices without a reason." I stared at the door. "She knows things about the company she shouldn't." Simon narrowed his eyes. "What exactly does she know?" "She hinted at financial leaks. Offshore accounts." He swore under his breath. "And you believe her?" "I don't know what to believe." "Then listen to me," Simon said firmly. "Don't get close to her. Whatever she's after, it isn't good for you." His words made sense. His tone was right. But my mind kept replaying the way Clara's eyes cut into me. The way her voice bent truth and lies into something irresistible. That evening, I stayed late, combing through transfers in the system. The numbers didn't add up. Just as she said, a string of payments had slipped into unfamiliar accounts. The hairs on my arms rose. She wasn't bluffing. My phone buzzed on the desk. A new message. Meet me alone tomorrow.
Ow.
I'll tell you something. That could change your life. No signature, but I didn't need one. I stared at the screen, pulse racing. She wasn't just gravity. She was a storm pulling me in, and I had no idea if I'd survive it. Her door clicked shut behind me, and I froze. Soft music floated through the room, low and slow, paired with the warm scent of wine. The lights were dim, casting her apartment in golden shadows. Clara stepped out from the kitchen holding 2 glasses. You came, she said, her silk dress catching the light like it was made for her body alone. You didn't give me much of a choice. You had every choice. You chose me. She pressed a glass into my hand and brushed her fingers over mine. I chose answers, said, gripping the stem too tightly. You'll get them, but you have to earn them. I studied her. Earn them how? She sat on the couch, crossing her legs with deliberate slowness. By listening, I stayed standing. And talk. You rush too much. She sipped her wine. Sit with me. I'm fine here. Her eyes narrowed. You're afraid of me. Cautious. Caution and fear were the same face. I sat, leaving space between us, but she shifted closer until the fabric of her dress brushed against my sleeve. Why me, Clara? I asked. Why target me? Target. She tilted her head, pretending to be wounded. Is that what you think this is? I don't know what to think. Then stop thinking. She leaned in, her perfume flooding my senses. Feel. Forced my eyes away. This isn't a game. Nothing about me is a game. She set her glass down and whispered, That's what makes me dangerous. Then tell me the truth, pieces of it. Her lips curved. The whole truth. Would ruin you. I clenched my jaw. Try me. She traced a finger along the rim of her glass. Someone you trust is lying to you. I leaned closer. Who? Her eyes flicked up, teasing. Patience. Do you even have it? Not tonight, she smiled. Good, because tonight I don't. Want patience? My pulse hammered. Clara, this isn't smart. Smart is boring. She brushed her knee against mine. Tell me, Daniel, are you bored? Her words cracked through my defenses. You're trying to distract me. Is it working? Yes. She laughed softly. Then her face shifted into something sharper. Do you know why I invited you here? Enlighten me? To see if you could resist? Resist what? Me? Set my glass down before I dropped it. This is dangerous, so you've said. She leaned in until her lips hovered close to mine. But danger is where the truth hides. I exhaled, caught between wanting her and wanting answers. Do you know about my company? Her smile faded into something more serious. Enough to know you're being used. By who? She pressed a finger against my lips. Ask fewer questions. Listen more. You're infuriating, and yet you're still here. Her hand slid across the couch cushion until it rested. Near mine, my fingers twitched, but I didn't pull away. Tell me, I demanded. She drew in a slow breath. There are accounts, transfers, hidden in plain sight. Someone close to you is moving money where it shouldn't go. How do you know this? I see things people don't want seen. That's not an answer. It's the only one you'll get tonight. I studied her face, looking for cracks, but she met my stare without blinking. You expect me? To believe you without proof? I asked. I expect you to feel the truth in your gut. She leaned even closer, her lips grazing the edge of my jaw as she whispered, And I expect you to know exactly who I'm talking about. Her words chilled me. Who, Clara? She pulled back just enough for her eyes to lock on mine. Your best friend isn't who you think he is. The floor seemed to tilt beneath me. Simon? My hand tightened into a fist. You're lying, am I? She whispered, her voice silken steel all at once. I pushed up from the couch, pacing the length of her apartment. Do you expect me to? Turn on the one person I trust. Because you say so. I don't need you to turn on him. Her tone softened. I need you to watch him. And why should I trust you? Because I've given you more than anyone else will. She stood, closing the gap between us. Because part of you already believes me. She reached for my hand, pressing it against her chest. Her heartbeat raced under my palm. Feel that? That's how you know I'm not lying. I yanked my hand away. It proves I'm not afraid to let you close. Her gaze searched mine, daring me to move, daring me to close the distance. My pulse thundered. My mind split between anger and desire. This is a mistake, I muttered. Then make it. Words tore through me. I stepped back, needing air, needing space. I can't. You can. She trailed her hand along my arm, her touch electric. You just won't. I grabbed my coat. I'm leaving. Her smile returned, faint but knowing. You'll be back, because I told you the truth, and it's already eating at you. At the door, I hesitated. If you're lying, I'll find out, then find out. She lifted her glass and took a slow sip. But remember what I said, Daniel. Your best friend isn't who you think he is. I left, my chest burning, her words echoing with every step into the night. Asterisk, Clara's. The voice wouldn't leave me. Your best friend isn't who you think he is. By morning, the words were knives in my chest. I found Simon by the coffee machine, cheerful as ever, like the world hadn't just shifted. Rough night, he asked. You could say that. You look like you didn't sleep, did you? He frowned. Why would I not sleep? Forget it. I grabbed a mug, my hand shaking slightly. Daniel, what's going on? I turned on him. Are you hiding something from me?
Hi.
His eyebrows shot up. What kind of question is that? Answer it. Of course not. Why would I? Because people close to me apparently aren't who they seem. Apparently, he repeated. Who told you that? I hesitated, then said Clara. He scoffed immediately. You're actually listening to her? Shh. She knew things, Simon, about the company, about accounts. And you didn't stop to think she could be making it up or manipulating. I held his stare. She was too specific. People like her thrive on specifics. She probably researched us, pulled a few numbers out of context, and dressed them up to look credible. Then why would she point at you? Because I'm your closest ally here. If she drives a wedge between us, she wins. I wanted to believe him. I really did. But Clara's whisper bled through my thoughts like poison. Simon touched my arm. Daniel, I would never betray you. We've built too much together. I pulled away. I need to be sure. Fine, he said, jaw tight. Be sure, but don't let her get inside your head. Too late that afternoon, Clara appeared again, like a shadow I couldn't shake. She caught me outside the building, stepping into my path with that sly smile. Still. Angry? She asked. I'm not angry. I'm cautious. Caution looks a lot like doubt. She touched my sleeve lightly, her nails grazing the fabric. Did you confront him? Yes. And A denied it. Of course he did. You say that like it proves something. It does. Liars always deny with too much conviction. Or maybe he's telling the truth. She leaned closer. Did you believe him when he looked at you? Her perfume curled around me and my throat tightened. I don't know what to believe. That means you believe me, or it means I'm confused. She smiled, stepping even closer until her lips almost brushed my ear. Confusion is the first step toward truth. I grabbed her wrist. Stop playing games. Who says I'm playing? I don't know anything about you, Clara. Why should I trust what you say? Because I risked telling you it all. I could have let you walk blind into betrayal, or you could be the betrayal. She pulled back slightly, her eyes glittering. That's what makes this fun? You think this is fun? I think tension makes people reveal themselves. Her hand slid down my arm until her fingers laced briefly with mine. And you've revealed more than you want to admit. I'll let go, stepping back. I can't keep doing this. Yes, you can. She smiled knowingly. Because the moment I leave, you'll want me back. Stay away from me. You don't want that, she said. Brushing past me, her shoulder grazing mine. You want answers, and you'll come to me for them. She was right. By evening, the doubt was unbearable. I drove aimlessly, thinking, replaying, questioning. My phone buzzed. A message from Clara. You still don't trust me. Then see for yourself. Tonight, the corner of 7th and Alder. Midnight, my chest tightened. A trap, it had to be, yet I couldn't. Resist When the clock struck 12, I was there.
Ow!
The street was quiet, the air thick. I parked in the shadows and waited. A figure appeared under the streetlight, Clara. But she wasn't alone. Simon stood with her. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. Their bodies were close, too close for comfort. Simon's head bent toward her, his voice low. Clara touched his arm lightly, the same way she had touched mine. Heat burned through me. Jealousy, betrayal, confusion, all colliding in my chest. Cracked the door open, ready to confront them, but froze when Simon handed her something. A folder. She slipped it into her bag, her smile quick and satisfied. He said something I couldn't hear. She laughed softly, leaning in like she'd been doing it for years. My pulse thundered. Clara's words echoed again. Your best friend isn't who you think he is. And now, I wasn't sure if she was lying or if she had just proven herself right. I didn't wait. I slammed the car door and strode toward them, my voice cutting through the night. What the hell is this? Simon spun around, eyes wide. Clara, on the other hand, only smiled, calm, as if she'd staged the whole thing. Daniel, Simon said quickly, this isn't what it looks like. Then tell me what it is. Clara stepped forward, her heels sharp against the pavement. I was starting to wonder how long you'd sit in the shadows watching us. Don't play with me, Clara. My chest heaved. What are you doing with him? She tilted her head. Isn't it obvious? We share a history? What kind of history? A complicated one. I turned to Simon. You're going to let her say that and not explain. His jaw clenched. It's nothing that matters now. Nothing that matters. I snapped. You to meet in the middle of the night passing folders like spies, and I'm supposed to believe it's nothing? Clara's smile deepened. See, he won't tell you, but I will. Simon cut her off. Clara, don't. She ignored him. Simon and I worked together before you ever came into the picture. I know his weaknesses. I know his secrets. Enough, Simon growled. Pointed at him. So she's telling the truth? You've been hiding this from me? He took a step closer. Daniel, listen to me. Whatever she's spinning, it's twisted. Yes, we crossed paths before, but it isn't what she makes it sound like. Then, make it sound like something else, I shot back. He faltered, his silence louder than any confession. Clara leaned closer, her perfume wrapping around me again. You feel it, don't you? She whispered. That crack in your trust. The way he avoids your eyes. I jerked back. Stop trying to get into my head. I'm not trying. I already am. Simon raised his hands. Daniel, you know me. Years of loyalty. Do not throw it away, because she knows how to push buttons. I turned between them, my pulse hammering. Then why meet in secret? Why not just tell me? Clara ran her fingers along my sleeve. Because secrets taste sweeter when they're stolen. I shoved her hand off. Enough with the games. I want the truth. You want my truth or his? She asked, eyes locked on mine. Both. She leaned closer again, her voice low and dangerous. My truth is simple. He can't handle me. You can handle you, I muttered. Her lips almost brushed my ear. You're the only one who doesn't flinch when I push. That's why you matter. Heat surged through me despite the alarm bells in my head. You're lying. She smiled. Then why can't you step away? I swallowed hard, torn between fury and the pull of her presence. Because I don't know what's real anymore. This voice cracked through the tension. Daniel, she's manipulating you. She's been doing this for years. I've seen it. Clara's laugh was sharp, like glass breaking. Tell him, Simon. Tell him what you did. Or should I? He froze. I glared at him. What is she talking about? Nothing. He said quickly. She wants to pit us against each other. That's all this is. Clara brushed past him and stood directly in front of me, her eyes glinting. He won't admit it. He never does. But I'll give you enough to see the truth. He owes me. More than he'll ever tell you. Simon grabbed her arm. Clara, stop. She yanked free. You don't control me anymore. I shoved a hand through my hair, my chest burning. This is insane. I can't trust either of you. Clara softened, her voice shifting like silk over steel. Trust me. I've been the only one brave enough to tell you something real. Everyone else feeds you what you want to hear. I give you what you need. Her fingers brush my arm again, deliberate. Slow. You feel that pull because you know I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of your anger, your doubt, your questions. That's why you can't walk away. I caught her wrist, holding her still. You think you've got me cornered? Her smile widened. I know I do. Simon stepped forward, fists clenched. Daniel, don't let her do this. Clara's voice slipped lower. Let me. You want to? Every instinct screamed to push her away, but my body betrayed me, leaning closer. Drawn by something I couldn't name? Simon shouted, "She ruin you?" I released her wrist abruptly, stumbling back a step. I need space. Clara's smile softened. Take all the space you want. I'll still be here when you're ready for the truth. Simon glared at her. You won't win this time. She only laughed lightly. I already have. I turned away, my head spinning. My trust in Simon cracked, my sanity tangled in Clara's. Words, my body still burning where she had touched me. By the time I got home, I was shaking. I dropped into my chair, trying to breathe, trying to think, when my laptop pinged. A new email. No sender listed. No subject line. I clicked it open. Clara is lying to you. She's already destroyed men before you. My blood ran cold. Asterisk, the email burned. In my mind, until I finally confronted her, I held my phone out. Clara explained this. She looked at the screen, then back at me. No denial, no outrage, just a steady breath. So you saw it, that's all you have to say? An anonymous warning that you destroy men before me, and you don't even try to deny it? Her lips parted, but instead of fire, her voice came low, trembling. Because it's true, they did get destroyed. But not by me, by themselves. I narrowed my eyes. You expect me to believe that? You think I planned their ruin?
I
Didn't. She stepped closer, her eyes glistening. They used me. They promised forever, then dropped me when I stopped being their fantasy. Each one took pieces until I had nothing left. I shook my head. That sounds convenient. Her hand brushed my arm. Convenient? No. It's humiliating to admit. You think I like telling you how pathetic I've been? How stupid? I pulled back slightly, my guard up. You're good at this. Twisting pain into seduction. Her eyes filled. You really think I'm faking this? Everything with you feels staged. Her voice cracked. Then why am I shaking right now? I froze. She wasn't trembling. Like a performance. Her shoulders quivered as if holding something back. She whispered, I wanted you to see me, not the version they painted. Not the villain, just me. I swallowed hard. And what exactly are you showing me? That I'm broken, but not beyond repair. Not if someone like you holds on instead of letting go. Her fingers slipped down to my hand, gripping it tightly. Tell me you don't feel it too. I should have let go. Instead I squeezed back, torn between reason and the heat coursing through me. You're making it impossible to think straight. Her head rested lightly on my shoulder. Because when you think too much, you pull away. When you feel, you stay. I stared ahead, conflicted. Simon told me to cut you off. He says you've been manipulating me. She flinched, but didn't pull away. Of course he did. He hates that you want me. He can't stand that you'd choose me over him. This isn't a competition, I muttered. Everything is a competition with Simon, she said softly. Ask him how many times he's lied to you. Ask him why he never told you about me before. I pulled back enough to see her face. So you admit there's more between you two. She nodded, a tear slipping down her cheek. Yes, but not the way you think. He wanted me once. I didn't want him. He's never forgiven me. I clenched my jaw. You're saying this is his revenge? I'm saying he'll do whatever it takes to poison what we have. She pressed, her palm against my chest. Don't let him. Her warmth seeped through my shirt, her breath close against my skin. I wanted to push her away. but the way her voice broke when she said it cracked something in me. "You make me feel like I can't trust anyone," I whispered. "Then trust yourself," she murmured. "You're still here with me." That has to mean something? Her lips brushed dangerously close to mine. I stopped her with a hand against her cheek. "If I believe you, I risk everything. If I don't, I lose you. Either way, I lose." Her eyes shone. "Or you win. Because I won't let you go like they did." I closed my eyes, my forehead against hers, caught between desire and doubt. "You terrify me." "Good," she whispered. "Then you know I'm real." I held her tightly, her body warm against mine, her tears dampening my shirt. For a fleeting moment, I let myself believe her, that beneath the games there was someone wounded, desperate, clinging to me not for power, but for survival. That moment. Shattered with the buzz of my phone, I pulled it from my pocket, still holding her close, and looked at the screen. A new message. No name, just an image. My stomach dropped. Clara in Simon's arms. Asterisk. The photo burned in my hand. Clara in Simon's arms, her smile soft, his grip firm. My pulse raced as I turned the screen toward her. "What is this?" Her eyes flicked down at the image, then back at me. A small laugh slipped from her lips. "That you can't be serious? You think this is funny?" My voice cracked louder than I intended. She leaned forward, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "Simon is obsessed with me. He's been chasing me for years. He probably staged this just to mess with your head. You're in his arms." "Clara, you don't look staged, you look close." She reached out, but I pulled back. "He forced that picture. You know how he is, always needing to be in control, always needing to win." "Then why do you look like you're enjoying it?" Her eyes narrowed, voice softer, more deliberate. "Because when men like Simon grab hold of you, you smile until they let go. That's how you survive." Before I could answer, my phone buzzed. Again, a call. Simon I picked up. "Explain this photo." He didn't hesitate. "Finally, you've seen the truth." "What truth?" "She's been lying to you from the start. She plays the same game with every man. She makes you think you're special, then she bleeds you dry. That photo is just proof." I clenched the phone tighter. "She says you're obsessed with her, that you won't let her go." Bitter laugh echoed on the line. "Obsessed? No. I'm warning you, because I've seen what she does. She manipulates, she destroys, and she walks away without looking back." Clara snatched the phone from my hand, pressing it to her ear. "Stop pretending you're the hero, Simon. You wanted me. I said no, and you've never forgiven me. That's all this is." Voice grew sharper. "You're lying again. He deserves to know what you really are. You just can't stand that he believes me over you." "Believes you?" Simon snapped. "How long before he finds the evidence you've buried? How long before he sees the damage?" Her voice rose. "Don't drag him into your bitterness." I ripped the phone back, hanging up before it could spiral further. My chest heaved, torn between their words. I looked at her. "Says you're playing me, that you've done this before?" She stepped closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "And you're going to take his word over mine? I don't know what to believe." Her hand slid up my arm, her eyes locked on mine. "Then believe this." She pressed her forehead to mine. "I want you, not him, not anyone else, just you." Her lips hovered near mine, close enough to steal my breath. My instincts screamed to push her away, but my body leaned into her warmth. "Clara," I whispered, "if you're lying to me, you'll destroy everything I have left." Her voice trembled, almost breaking. "Then let me prove I'm not." Her mouth brushed the corner of my lips, a kiss so close it ached. I gripped her shoulders. "Torn between desire and doubt, you're making me choose between what I feel and what I fear." She pulled back just enough to look me in the eye. "Then choose me, because fear will never hold you the way I do." The tension snapped like a wire. I pressed my forehead against hers again, breathing in the heat of her words, caught in the storm she created, but doubt didn't disappear. It dug deeper. Later that night, when she finally slipped into the shower, I sat at my desk, scrolling through files I'd ignored for weeks. Numbers, transfers, names I didn't recognize. And then I saw it, her name, Clara, linked directly to financial accounts. Inside my company, my stomach dropped. The documents weren't forged, they weren't rumors, they were real, and they tied her to everything I had built. Asterisk, I waited until Clara stepped out of the shower, steam curling around her as if the room itself bent to her presence. My laptop was open on the desk, the files glowing on the screen. My chest pounded, not from desire this time, but from the truth staring back at me. She caught my expression instantly. Why do you look like that? I turned the laptop toward her, because of this. She patted closer, water dripping from her hair onto the floor, and glanced at the screen. Her face didn't crumble, didn't flinch. She smiled. You finally figured it out, she said softly. The air left my lungs. So it's true, her eyes gleamed, sharp and unashamed. Every bit of it. I slammed my hand on the desk. The fraud, the lies, all of it comes back to you. You pulled me into this. Clara tilted her head, amusement curling her lips. Pulled you in? No, Daniel. You walked in willingly. No. You wanted me too much to ask the right questions. Don't. Twist this. You used me. I gave you exactly what you craved. Tension, fire, a woman who made you feel alive again. My voice broke. You played me. Her smirk widened. You were fun to play with. I staggered back, shaking my head. Do you even care? Do you feel anything at all? She stepped closer, her robes sliding open just enough to reveal bare skin glistening from the shower. I feel plenty. I feel the power of watching you torn between anger and wanting me. I feel your pulse every time I touch you. I feel how badly you still want me right now, even after everything you know. I force myself to breathe. You ruined me. You ruined Simon. You ruined the company. Her laugh was low, dangerous. Simon ruined himself. The company was weak long before me. And you were already broken when I found you. I just showed you the cracks you tried to hide. My throat tightened. You could have stopped. You could have chosen me instead. Of this, she moved until she was inches away, her hand pressing flat against my chest. I did choose you. I chose to let you in, to make you part of my game. That's not love. Her eyes softened, though her smile stayed wicked. Love is a word men like you cling to when they're drowning. What I gave you was more than love. It was escape. Caught her wrist and pushed her hand away. I don't want escape. I wanted you, the real you. Not this mask, not this manipulator. Her gaze sharpened. The real me is standing right. In front of you, you're still looking at me like I'm the only woman in the world. My chest burned, because even now, even knowing the truth, part of me still does. Her voice dropped to a whisper, her lips almost brushing my ear. Then give in. One last time. Forget the lies, forget the files, just feel me. I pulled back, searching her face for a trace of guilt, a flicker of regret. All I found was hunger. You. Don't even regret it, do you? I asked. Regret? She let the word linger. Regret is for people who lose. I don't lose, Daniel. My voice shook. You already have. For the first time, her smile faltered. A shadow crossed her face, quick but sharp. I turned away, grabbing my jacket. I'm done. Her voice cracked through the air. You'll come back. You can't walk away from me. I looked over my shoulder. Watch me. Reach the door, my hand on the handle. Her voice rang out behind me, sharper than a blade. If I go down, I'm taking you with me. I froze, her words cutting deeper than any touch. Slowly, I turned my head, meeting her eyes. They blazed with defiance, with the promise of destruction. My chest heaved, my heart pounding against the weight of betrayal and the temptation I still felt. For a second, I almost stepped back toward her, but I opened the door instead, letting her threat hang between us like smoke, and I walked out. Asterisk. Simon shoved the file across the table. Toward me, it's over. She can't escape this. Scanned the papers again, my throat tight. This proves everything. Scared offshore accounts, fake contracts, her name on every transaction. He leaned forward, his voice low. She hung herself with her own greed. All we had to do was wait. The door behind us slammed open. Clara walked in, heels clicking against the floor like a challenge. Her eyes flicked to the documents. "This is how it ends." I stood, every muscle rigid. "Ends with the truth." She smiled faintly. "Truth is just what people choose to believe. And you, Daniel, chose to believe him." Simon shot up from his chair. "I didn't invent those numbers. You did?" Her gaze cut to him. "You always wanted me gone, didn't you? This is your victory lap." I stepped between them. "No, Clara, this is your mask falling apart." Took a slow breath, then laughed softly. "You think I care about masks? I created them. Every version of me was exactly who I needed to be. For the board, for the investors, for you." Her eyes locked onto mine, unblinking. "Especially you." My chest tightened. "I gave you everything, and you still destroyed it." Her voice dropped to a whisper. "I didn't destroy anything. You're still standing. You're still breathing. That means I didn't finish the job." Simon slammed his fist on the table. "Enough. They're waiting for you outside." She glanced toward the door, then back at me. "Are you really going to let them take me? After all we shared?" I forced the words out. "I don't have a choice." Her lips curved in a half smile. "You always had a choice, and you chose him." The door opened again. Two officials stepped inside. One spoke firmly. "Clara Reynolds, you're under arrest for fraud, conspiracy, and corporate theft." She didn't resist. She lifted her wrists, almost regal as they cuffed her. Da-da-da-da-da-da, but her eyes never left mine. As they led her toward the hall, she turned her head. Slightly. "You'll regret this, Daniel." I felt Simon's hand on my shoulder. "Don't listen to her." But her voice sliced through the air one last time. "I was the only one who ever really saw you. Now you'll go back to being invisible." Door shut behind her. Silence filled the room. Simon exhaled heavily. "She's gone. It's finished." I sank back into my chair, staring at the space where she had stood. She never begged. Not once. "She's incapable of it," Simon muttered. "Pride is the only thing she loves." I shook my head. "No, she wanted me to believe." It was her game, and I did. His tone softened. "She used everyone, Daniel. But you were different. That's why it hurts more." I rubbed my face, fighting the storm inside me. "I don't even know if I hate her or still want her." Simon sat beside me, his voice steady. "What you feel doesn't matter anymore. She chose her path. You get to choose yours now." Weight of his words hit me. "And what path is that?" He gave a faint smile. "Rebuilding, trust, friendship, everything she tried to burn down." I let the silence linger, then nodded slowly. "Maybe that's enough." For the first time in weeks, Simon's expression softened with relief. "Then let's start there." The next days blurred together with headlines, press conferences, and board meetings. Clara's name flashed across every screen. Her allies vanished. Investors turned their backs. The glamorous empire she built collapsed overnight, yet through it all, one image haunted me, her face as she was led away, smiling but hollow. Simon joined me one evening on the balcony outside my office. "You've been quiet." I stared at the city lights. She wasn't broken, not even in handcuffs. She was empty. "That's who she really was," he said. "A shell made of charm and lies." I shook my head. "No, she was more than that. She could have been more." "Oh, Daniel," he said gently, "the version you wanted never existed." I swallowed hard, accepting the truth, but still bleeding from it. "Then maybe her punishment isn't prison. Maybe it's knowing she lost the one thing that was real." Simon's voice was low. "You." I nodded, my chest heavy. "She'll never feel it, but yes. Losing me might be worse than losing her schemes." We stood in silence, the night wind cutting through, the city humming beneath us. A week later, I returned home late, exhaustion pressing down on me. I opened the door to find an envelope lying on the floor. My name was written in sharp, familiar handwriting. My stomach knotted, picked it up, my fingers trembling. The seal was unbroken. Clara's handwriting. I stared at it under the dim light, my pulse quickening, every memory rushing back. Her touch, her lies, her smile as the cuffs closed around her wrists. The story was supposed to be over, but this letter meant it wasn't.